In this edition of Hong Kong at 25, I speak to a trailblazing entrepreneur in the education space, Geetanjali Dhar, co-founder of Sanskriti, a Hindi educational institute in Hong Kong, and IBEL, an educational institute aimed at empowering ethnic minorities in Hong Kong by teaching Chinese language. Having lived in Hong Kong for 23 years, Geetanjali has carved her own unique path in the educational space.
This is the best place to be an entrepreneur. The crazier the idea, more chances you have of making it into a success in Hong Kong.
Mrs. Dhar sits down with me to talk about how she began her goal of better integrating the youth of Hong Kong so they can thrive in the city, and why she and her family now call Hong Kong home. Geetanjali, thank you so much for joining me today.
It's a pleasure, Azam. Thank you for inviting me.
You're an entrepreneur in the city, so how did that journey come about for you?
And so as we were settling down, first 2 years I had a job, and then I decided to launch Sanskriti. And I still remember that moment when I was passing by and I saw the IRD, the tower, and I got off and I walked up the escalator. I said, I'm going to set up my company today.
Just like that?
Just like that. And then while I'm on the escalator, I called up my husband and I said, you know what, I'm going to go register my company. And he said, brilliant. And before we could finish the conversation, I reached the counter to where I had to pay the money. And the lady, in typical Hong Kong fashion, okay, pay this much. I paid. So what's the name? I said, Brilliant. You know, and that's how the name started, Brilliant Learning.
Okay.
And then Sanskriti was our signature program.
Wow.
And it became so successful that we had to actually rename our company as Sanskriti.
Okay.
Yes. So I think that moment when I got off, when I went up, I didn't realize that I'm going to set up a company. There's no turning back.
You were like a deer in the headlight going up the escalator?
Thankfully, there was that lady, and I just paid and I walked off, and I said, wow, I own this company now. And the process is so seamless here. And before you realize, you have an accountant, you have this, you have that, and it is a fantastic place to set up a company.
In your opinion, with your experience here, what is some unique features about being an entrepreneur in Hong Kong, particularly?
This is the best place to be an entrepreneur. The crazier the idea, more chances you have of making it into a success in Hong Kong. I have set up companies in a couple of other countries. It has never been so seamless as here.
Right.
And the tax structure is so good. Hong Kong is known for its freedom of, trade, its fiscal strength. Anybody can launch a company and do it legally, whatever you have to do. And it's thriving, and the kind of support system you have from the government, it's I don't think I saw it anywhere else. Even during the pandemic, immediately the government came out with the employment subsidy scheme. The Hong Kong Productivity Council came up with the DBIZ program, which was fantastic. I mean, I benefited from it. I got to set up my online platform because of that. Then you have the consumption vouchers. Then you have the subsidy for the coaches. I mean, which other country has supported its citizens or businesses you've gone through so well?
You've gone through that experience of setting up a company and dealing with all the registration in other countries as well.
Yes.
At least in Hong Kong,
I have.
It's a more streamlined.
It's more streamlined, and there is minimal red tape.
Okay.
While setting up a company, and you want an accountant, you don't have to hire an accountant. You can just outsource everything, and run a very lean structure.
Right.
Keep your costs under control, and yeah.
Yeah, that's incredible. And have you seen changes, improvements from society in Hong Kong, improvements in the integration, and what impact has your institute as well made for increasing the number of integration of kids?
Yes, IBEL has started with 7 children, and today we are very proud to say that there are about 200 and close to 280 students coming to the 2 centers every day. I had a group of non-Chinese speaking students who were very studious, very hardworking, but because they didn't have adequate Chinese language proficiency, they were handicapped because of that. And they, despite their good scores, they were not able to get into the jobs they wanted. Right. So my husband and I, we decided to open up IBEL because of that.
And there's a large South Asian community here as well. historically in Hong
Yes.
Kong, and it's growing even more.
Yes.
So this year marks the 25th anniversary of Hong Kong's return to the motherland. What are your thoughts about that?
I think Hong Kong has so much to look forward to. The Greater Bay Area has so much promise for Hong Kong entrepreneurs, and I think it's a wonderful fusion wherein the strengths of Hong Kong and the mainland are brought together. For example, the entrepreneurs can capitalize on the research that Hong Kong is famous for, and bring it to the attention and market their business, do their pitching to the investors in mainland, which is a huge segment wanting to invest into.
Like the professional thing aside, when you look back at the last 25 years, almost 25 years of you and your family being here, how do you think about that journey as well?
For us, this has always been home. So we launched our companies, we launched our NGO, our children grew up here, our home is here. And I think when your home is going through ups and downs, that is, especially when it's going through a down, that is the time you have to be there. You have to stick it out, and you have to be join hands and bring it up again. So, and that's what we are doing. We are here and we are working together to uplift the underprivileged, to help people get more jobs, and to contribute in our little way, whatever we can, to this wonderful place.
Mrs. Dhar, thank you so much for joining me today.
Thank you for inviting me, and it's been a pleasure talking to you. Thank you.